Good afternoon, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. Today we're at property address 1623 Douglas Street here in Forest Grove. We're located at the left side of the home. Tucked back in here, this little nook notch out in the house here, we have the 4-inch ABS cleanouts adjacent to the big vent stack here. We're going to insert the camera and check the overall condition and serviceability of the sanitary sewer line. Currently have water running. Here we go. And we'll zero out the camera counter right here at the base of the cleanout. And it looks like it's transitioning immediately upon access over to 4-inch 3034 PVC pipe. Okay, we do have a belly here in the line. We'll take a look at that spot on the way out when it's all drained. Right now with the sink running, it will exaggerate that to a certain extent. And typically where I start recommending repairs on belly, and it did transition back to ABS plastic there just a moment ago. But typically I recommend repairs on bellies once there's at least 5 feet of pipe with at least 1 inch of standing water static, no water running inside. That's where I typically start to see regular old toilet paper start to collect in lines. It's still fairly livable at that point. At that breaking point, generally what's going to cause you problems is if you're putting huge wads of toilet paper down the line, like, baseball, football size, like kids do, or flushing paper towels and tampons and putting grease down the sink. At that point, it's still a fairly livable situation, as long as you're just being mindful as to what's going down the line. Alrighty, here at 108 feet we have reached the main. This is literally the exact extent of my camera here, so I've got to pull it back a little bit. I'm going to go locate to verify where this is at exactly, and then we'll let the line drain out completely before reeling back in. For the most part, there's a few different spots throughout the line where it looks like there's some minor settling that's occurred. There's really only one belly in particular that I'm concerned will still be fairly sizable once we reel back in. So we'll check all that out once it's drained. I located the camera head successfully out the main on Douglas Street. Looks like we still have some water trickling down the line here. We're going to give it just a moment longer before pulling in. Alright, we are down to just a trickle at this point. We're going to go ahead and start reeling in. By the time we get to any of the belly of concern anyway, it's going to be fully drained out. Here's an example of some of the minor standing water I've been seeing. This stuff is very minimal. I mean, that there is like barely even a 1/16 of an inch. You got to be flushing pairs of socks down the line to get something to hang up there. Another spot here, similar to the other one. It's only about a 1/16 of an inch of water. Again, another stretch here with about 1/16 of an inch of standing water again. Now, the only thing that will really hang up in a spot like that, and that amount of standing water would actually handle even the occasional paper towel fairly well. Not that you should put those down there. But the biggest issue with any amount of standing water is when you're putting cooking oil or grease down the line. It'll hit even the smallest little spot like that and start to build up on the sidewalls. Well, as long as that kind of stuff's not going down the line, you're not flushing a roll of paper towels down the line every single day, that is going to stay just as clean as it is right now. Alright, we're getting closer in here where we have the more significant belly in the line. So we are up to, that water level's going up over the camera lens there, so we're at 1 inch of standing water. On this particular belly here, looks like it will let the water settle back into place for just a moment. Looks like it ends here at about 20, we'll call it 25 feet. Alright, the line actually goes over, and I don't know where the property lines and everything reside here, but the neighbor's house over here, there's a trailer parked adjacent to the neighbor's home, and it's basically in the, it's dirt there, but it's kind of in where the trailer is parked, or in line with where that thing would be parked. So looks like it's I don't know if there's an easement or anything like that. I check into the title report. It's close enough to their place that there may be something like that in place. You can see how thick this water is here. I mean, you can't even see through it. Well, that's, at that point there, I am going to recommend a spot repair to fix this. It looks like the belly, it's about right around 10 feet in length. Starts here at about 15, 16 feet and extends out to about 25 feet. We do have 1 inch of standing water there, so I am going to recommend a spot repair. But it's quite shallow. Looks like it's just under dirt. Not the hardest thing to get down to. We're basically the exact same depth at each end. We're about 2 feet 6 inches deep here and 2 feet 7 inches at the end of the belly, which is indicative of a belly there. It's not grading deeper like it should. Anyway, I've said before, we're going to recommend a repair there. If you don't do a repair, I would, especially if you have little kids in the house, I would recommend doing a rescope in a year to keep an eye out for debris buildup. Every household lives often very differently. A belly for a household with 1 or 2 people can be quite significant and not cause problems. You move a bunch of kids into the house, and a belly like we just saw there can be a fairly significant problem. So I would keep an eye on it if the repair is not done. I do have that mapped out with paint. We're having a pretty heavy rainstorm today, so I don't know if it'll last. I'll try and show that as best I can here in a moment once we roll the camera out. We're going backwards now towards the home, so we can go back into it. And that there is as far as I can go. We're starting to go up. It looks like a vent there. Everything from this point back towards that is also, this is in good condition there and draining properly. So aside from the belly there, we've got a couple other, like 2 or 3 spots with some really minor standing water. That stuff I'm not even concerned about. But I do recommend that belly be corrected. And it starts, there's the neighbor's trailer. And it's just about 3 feet or so in front of where the wheel of that trailer is. And it starts there and then extends out about 10 feet that direction there. Now that's the reason why I mentioned it. It's possible there could be some easement, but I have no idea where the property line is. It's really, really close. So there's a decent chance there might be some type of easement in place. At this time, though, the line is functioning. We don't have so much debris that the line is clogged up, so it is still functioning at this time, but being hindered there by that belly.